Hi, and welcome back to another episode of What to Expect When You're Arrested. This is your host, Sean Hendrickson here from the Sean Hendrickson Law Firm, where we help good people like you avoid the devastating consequences of criminal charges. Today, we're going to be talking about pretrial diversion programs. Before we get to that, we do have a free download for you. It's 5 things you should be doing right now if you've been arrested. If you click on the show notes, there's a link there. If you click on that, we'll send that right out to you. Pretrial diversion programs are basically a system that they have in Texas. Normally, it's for first-time offenders, but sometimes it is available to other people who don't have much criminal history or maybe for a lower-level crime. But basically, it's a way that could be used to end your case sooner with a good result. And one of the great things about it is that you can get an expunction afterwards. Pretrial diversion programs do vary county to county, so the way it works in Bexar County may be different from how it works in other counties, and we're going to be focused mainly on the pretrial diversion system here in Bexar County. Now, pretrial diversion is not as good as a dismissal, but it is better than deferred adjudication, so usually if it's available, it's usually a pretty good offer to take. The reason it's not as good as a dismissal is with a dismissal, your case just goes away, there's nothing for you to do. With a pretrial diversion program, you're still going to have some things that you need to do. You may have some classes to take, some community service you're going to have to do, some fees to pay. You'll have to check in with a pretrial services officer, and of course, you can't pick up any new cases. But it is better than deferred adjudication, and the reason for that is that with deferred adjudication, you're eligible to get your record sealed most of the time, not all the time, but most of the time with deferred adjudication, you can get your record sealed. But with an expunction, you will be able to get everything taken off of your record. And it's the same result you'd be able to get if the case was dismissed or if you took the case to trial and won at trial. There are some benefits to the pretrial diversion. Like I said, the main one is going to be that you're eligible for an expunction, and you'll actually be eligible for that sooner than if your case was dismissed. If your case is dismissed, you're eligible for an expunction after the statute of limitations passes, which can be 2 years, 3 years, or even longer, depending on what you're being charged with. But with a pretrial diversion program, you're eligible for an expunction as soon as you complete the pretrial diversion program, which can usually be, 6 months or 8 months, somewhere around there. The other main benefit of pretrial diversion is that your case ends sooner. You could show up at your first setting, and they may say that this is a case where, pretrial diversion is a good option, and that's what they're offering for you. And that could be your last court date. After that, you can apply for it, get into the program and everything, and have your case dismissed relatively quickly, and then be done with everything within a few months after that. And so it's a good way to not have to continue to show up to court, month after month, like you may have to get a dismissal, because a lot of dismissals don't come until later on in the case. The main downside is that you do have those things that you're going to have to do. You should think about taking pretrial diversion if it is offered in your case, because normally it is a good offer, and if the state has a strong case against you. If this is a case that doesn't look like it's going to get dismissed and doesn't look like it's going to have a good result if it goes to trial, then you probably want to take the pretrial diversion program so that you can get that expunction later on, so that case doesn't follow you around for the rest of your life. You probably shouldn't be looking at it if you're innocent and if you don't want to take any classes, you don't want to do anything related to this. If you just want that dismissal and, this is a case where you may be able to get that dismissal, then you may not want to take the pretrial diversion in that situation. The process in Bexar County for pretrial diversion is normally your attorney is going to talk to the prosecutor on the case, and one of the things they may talk about is going to be the pretrial diversion program, whether or not you're eligible, if that's something that you're interested in. If the prosecutor does agree to pretrial diversion on your case, then you're going to submit an application to the DA's office. They'll review your application, review the case, and see if this is a case where they are going to formally offer you pretrial diversion, and they'll send an agreement to your attorney for you to sign off on and for your attorney to sign off on. Once both of y'all sign off on that agreement, it'll be returned back to the district attorney's office, and they're going to set you up with an orientation and everything. And once you're actually in the program, they're going to dismiss that case against you. And if you successfully complete the pretrial diversion program, then that case stays dismissed. You will, when you do meet with that person from pretrial services, they're going to give you all the details about where you can take those classes, where you can make payments, where you can do community service, all of those details about what you'll need to do as part of the pretrial diversion program. But there is no definite length. There's not a strict timeline on how long pretrial diversion takes. It's basically as long as it takes for you to complete everything that's required as part of the program. Once you do successfully complete the pretrial diversion program, your case stays dismissed, which is great, obviously, and you are eligible for the expunction immediately after completing pretrial diversion, which is one of the main benefits of that pretrial diversion program. If you're not successful with the pretrial diversion program, if you don't complete all of the requirements, or if you do pick up a new charge, then the state's going to refile that same case against you. And so you're kind of in the same place that you were when you had originally applied for pretrial diversion, except that's not going to be an option anymore. The good news is if you don't complete the pretrial diversion, you're not really in a worse position. If you have any questions about the pretrial diversion programs, or if you're being charged with a case here in San Antonio or the surrounding areas, give us a call at 210-775-0852, or click on the link in the show notes. There's a link there where you can schedule a free consultation with us. We'd be happy to answer any questions you have about your case, let you know what you can expect, and let you know how we can help you out. I hope you have a great day.